truth, or you're tired of being so confused. You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop arguing me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dad.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Weaver. I am on the Don't Unfriend Me show, otherwise known as The Dumb Show, with host Matt Spear. You guys can find the show at The Dumb Show on social media or thedumbshow.com.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me show. My good friend Leeroy, all the way down on the other end of the table. What's up, Leeroy?
What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Oh, it's been a day. It's been a day. It's been a day. I tell you, the liberals are out in droves. We got shared to the one of the Occupy sites, or I don't know, Chapped Chaz, Chapped Ass, whatever the hell their websites are. And somebody shared one.
They should just go by chaps, assless ones, but yeah.
Assless. I think all chaps are assless, if I'm not mistaken, but redundancy, it's fine. It's ass. It's okay. But it got shared, and I've been playing whack-a-mole for, all day. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. One video I just deleted because I'm like, it's just too many liberals. It's just, It's just pedo, Nazi.
That's all they know how to do.
That's all they do.
There's nobody they know how to do.
Nobody wants to make an intellectual argument. They're like, what do you mean you want to kick out Bad Bunny? I'm like, did I say that? No. My comment was fairly simple. I said there are way too many people liking Bad Bunny stuff after the Super Bowl, which just tells me that we haven't kicked out enough illegals yet. That's what I said.
You know, we didn't get a chance to talk about that, and I had a take on it.
Good.
One of the people that I work with, who is an amazing woman, but she is, she's born here, I think,
Okay.
but her parents are from Panama.
Okay.
And so she is like first gen and loved the idea of Bad Bunny, was rooting for him the whole time.
Sure.
And then when the song came, I didn't watch it. I
Right.
did watch your show last night, and I thought that you and Olivia made the perfect point, which is that if you go to a bar and you insist that somebody changes the channel, all right, well, it's not incumbent upon the bar just to appease you. They have a base that they're trying to service.
Sure.
And I felt the same thing about the NFL. They can do whatever the hell they want. I would defend to my dying breath Bad Bunny's ability to get up there and talk about all the STDs that he wants.
Yep.
But I don't have to watch it myself.
Right.
And I think that was the distinction that I was trying to make. But this is something that I had always done is we looked at the lyrics, the translation of the lyrics, which were not good. They were a little bit gross. And I was just like, it's kind of, why would I'm not going to watch that.
Right.
I don't need that. Yeah.
Well,
So
if it was going to
mind-
be acted out, I might watch it. But
Right.
But just
Right. I didn't mind what he said. I did mind what he said, so much so that I changed the channel, but I wasn't going to stop watching the Super Bowl. I just didn't watch halftime.
See, my thoughts. Right. My thoughts are this. I 42 years the halftime show has pretty much sucked. There's been a couple good ones here and there.
Right.
Janet Jackson
Right.
flashing her boob comes to mind. There's been a few others, but I don't watch football for music and audio entertainment. That's like going to 7-Eleven for gourmet food. I just like, that's not the place. Everything's lip sync. It's all choreographed. It's bullshit. It sucks. And if a fuse blows, they can't play. It's just shit. It's dog shit.
Right.
So I don't really care. And I don't give a crap about Kid Rock or Bad Bunny, to be completely honest with you. The only thing I like about really Kid Rock is that he's repented and he's found Jesus Christ and believes that Christ is king, and he is moving forward as Christ is his savior. Good for him. He needs it. He had a life of a lot of sin, like all of us do, and he's finding God, and I can relate to that. So good. But otherwise, I don't really particularly like his music. It's resampled. It's not always, even the song that he did on guitar was a resampled song that he just added a line to. So what? Some people are really good at resampling music. Otherwise, the Fugees wouldn't have won 9 Grammys, okay? Because that's their entire album was just ripping off other black Motown singers' music and resampling it. So I don't really give a
Milli
shit.
Vanilli had their moment too.
Ooh, that was good. And so did Kid Rock. He had his Milli Vanilli moment. We're going to talk about that. Like, did he lip sync? And folks, I'm here to tell you, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. He lip synced. And it was blatant, and it's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that because it's fine. But he makes a video that kind of tries to dispute it, and once again, it falls flat on its face, but it also redeems him because he raps out the lyrics in real time, and you're like, oh boy, homeboy can still sing, homeboy can still rap, he's got a voice, but it is what it is. And folks, I hate to tell you this, but when someone's going to pay you $1 million or a couple $100,000 to play at a TPUSA event, you do what they want. And if they say to sample and sync voices, then you do that. That's just the way this works. But anyway, we'll talk about that.
One last quick point, which was that from the bigger perspective, from the 30,000 foot view, right?
Yeah.
The idea that if we're capitalists, we should be able to appreciate the NFL is trying to sell us a product. And if enough people get turned off of said product, eventually there's going to be some bring down in terms of the viewership of the Super Bowl. Will that affect things? Will they be persuaded at some point to change what they're... It might if enough people turn away.
It won't, because what they're going to do is they're going to have the Super Bowl next year and do the same fucking thing. And they're going to find somebody who's controversial. And honestly, 130 million people watched it. It was the most watched Super Bowl halftime show ever. Right. So obviously they did something right. And even like, I'll take those numbers. If I had 30,000 people watching who all hated me and wanted the death of me, I would take that in a heartbeat because it's negative attention, but it's all good attention.
Right.
So it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and defend Kid Rock's lyrics or Bad Bunny's lyrics. And I'm certainly not going to sit here and while we all pretend to hold our nose at Bad Bunny, we've all been shoving Nicki Minaj down everybody's throats. And that's quite a feat because that ass, it don't quit. So
I can remember way back in the day, there were several 80s, deep into the 90s bands that I listened to and jammed out and appreciated. And their lyrics were, we should say, questionable at best. So, I mean, I get it. I understand.
Yeah, and do I believe the 130 million? Do I believe that Charlie Kirk's halftime show at TPUSA got 10? I don't care. I did Nielsen ratings for about 25 years. And I can tell you this, Nielsen ratings it's all subjective. So it's a sample. And digital boxes are pretty good, but the threshold of viewership is a little bit different. Like if you engage for 30 seconds at the beginning and 30 seconds at the end, you're counted as a viewer. That doesn't necessarily count because there's going to be people who are going to be returning back and forth, literally waiting for it to end while they watch the Home Shopping Network or something because they can't stand what's being played. And think, or they go back to the basketball game. So you have to understand as Nielsen ratings are good, and they are the best account of what's happening, but they're not the end all be all. Just for someone who's been in marketing and bought billions with a B, billions of dollars of media marketing. I'm telling you that ratings are not always what they're cracked up to be, but a lot of people watched it. And remember this, if the Nielsen ratings for last year and 10 years ago and 20 years was the standard, then this is going up against a system that has some discrepancies and some issues, but those issues were ever present for the last 10, 20, 30 years. So therefore it's going up against itself. So those numbers are fantastic either way. Something we need to think about. Charity Lamb in with $25, kicking us off, right? My daughter invited me out to lunch today. I had a great time sharing the love. Outstanding. Good job, Charity.
Aw, thank you very much, Charity.
All right, so we want to welcome all of our liberal lefties. Welcome. You're more than welcome to call in. You want to say hi, just ask for the call-in number. If you have a question, put Q in front of it, not because we're bluing people. It's easier for me to do a search by putting in
distinction for questions.
Yeah, well, I can put in a Q in the search bar and it pulls up everything, and Q is one of the least used words in the alphabet. And my dog agrees too. Next, we are 100% funded by the viewers here. This wonderful set that you see here, this whole thing from top to bottom has been paid for by the Don't Unfriend Me Show viewers. And of course, we threw some money in too. But this whole thing is paid for by you. We started off in a small closet. Leeroy came out of the closet, and then I followed suit. And we are now here doing this show for you. You want to get started?
What's that?
It's okay. We're going to get started. I was asking you if you want to get started.
I was bringing up Facebook on the other screen, and when I did, I have to turn off the sound on one side.
It's totally fine. I was just kidding anyway. So Kid Rock explains. Let's watch this. This is Kid Rock and his DJ. I don't know. It's like Kid C or High C Punch or what? Who gives a shit? I don't care. If I met Kid Rock, I would be stoked. I think he's a rock star type of guy. I think he's high energy. I like him. I think he's cool as hell. But I don't really give a shit what his DJ's name is, and I don't care about his music, because never do I go, oh, you know what? I just want to get hyped up. I'm going to listen to some Kid Rock. That's never happened, and I don't believe it ever will.
He's not like the first go-to when you're in the car alone. You know?
Right. When it comes on and, I was sipping on a bottle and blah, 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 blah. Okay, good. That's a good song. Once, maybe twice, but I'll listen to the original of Sweet Home Alabama because that's my type of music. All right, here it is. Kid Rock explains. Let's listen to it, then we're going to see the video. So it's a few minutes, so hang in there, but I know everybody wants to see it.
People, we're here to address the fake news media and all the trolls that are piling on trying to say I was lip syncing on the Turning Point USA halftime to Ball with the Ball. First, I got to say thank you to my DJ, Paradigm. We call him Freddie, who...
Paradigm, that's what it was. Yeah, Freddie. Okay. Yeah, that was the name of my EverQuest guild when I was a real nerd. Anyway.
Flew down from Detroit this evening. It's Monday night. Flew down from Detroit this evening just so we could make...
Boy, are my arms tired. Bobby McGee's. You remember Bobby McGee's? Where you would dress up as... It was like Jackrabbit Slims, where you would dress up as actors and you would dress up like as Elvis Presley or Marilyn Monroe, and you would wait tables and you would go in and you get these amazing burgers and fries. Well, Bobby McGee's was this thing. Was
that the place that was kind of featured in Pulp Fiction? Was that it?
That's very similar to Jackrabbit Slims, okay. But Bobby McGee's was a little bit more Applebee's and Bobby McGee's together. So it had that nostalgia for the 80s, 90s, and 70s and stuff, but it wasn't like 50s and 40s and 60s. So anyway, Justin Rakemeyer donated $20. Keep on keeping on, brothers. Justin, thanks on, brother. Good new people. I love seeing new people. So here's the deal. So Bobby McGee's, my brother was a Canadian Mountie, and I don't have many wonderful memories of my brother, but he was a Canadian Mountie, and he was Dudley Do-Right, and that was his character, and he loved it. And his opening line is he would walk in and there's 20 people there. He's like, "Hi everybody," just use his Canadian accent. That's what it's all about. He's like, "Hello everybody, welcome in here. How you Kefa Leva?" It sounds like an Australian, but anyway, he would do it. He'd do his thing, and he goes, "Well, I just." It's like, me and my horse just showed up and we flew in from Canada, and boy, is his legs tired. It's from flapping. And it's the dumbest fucking joke in the world, but it landed, and it just reminded me of that. I don't know why I decided to tell you that. It doesn't have to be, it just doesn't have to be good. Here it is.
And we get to hang out and drink a couple beers, so it's all good.
Oh yeah, my horse and I flew in from Canada today, and boy, are my arms tired. That's what it was. Something like that. Anyway. It didn't get
turning
better.
point of that ball was
No, J. Pole, I will not play the video. We will continue to do just what we always do. We're not a cable news network. We're not here for your entertainment. We're not TiVo. We're going to have a talk show, and we're going to make fun of things, and we're also going to watch things seriously, but we are not going to take Kid Rock's video seriously here. I'm going to tell my damn story because it's my dime. Thanks. Donate, and I'll turn it.
ball. You know that song's chaos. And the first thing is, if I was ever going to lip sync, which I wouldn't, that would be the last song I would ever have to bring in the fold to do it to. We've performed this song every night on tour.
See, J. Paul, you got me to stop it again. You're right, buddy. It was a Red Skeleton joke. That's absolutely correct. He probably stole it from there. He wasn't a very funny guy.
It's 1998, since the day it was released. So the turning point event. So they sent me a first cut. You know, we taped it, and then they sent me a first cut. And my comment was, the sync is off. They were trying to line up. First off, if we would have done it, if we would have recorded it and then played like we were singing it, lip synced it, it would have been pie. It would have been pie to line up. It was very difficult for them because somebody clearly wasn't super familiar with the song. Also, when I asked them, I go, you know,
Bill goes Canadian accent, Q, say fuck. Listen, the only Canadian accent I could do is like a French, you know, nasally. I make fun of Canadians once in a while, but I'm out of sorts right now. You know, that's about all I can do.
Pretti raps that song with me, my DJ. And they're like, he does what? And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, yeah, do we have any cutaways of Freddie? And they didn't.
No.
He wasn't, were you lit up?
No.
He didn't even have a light up.
I was gonna do.
Any TV time?
No.
Sorry, dog.
I mean, you can see my silhouette.
So they don't have that footage. Now it's extremely difficult for them to line up the sync. Could have been done if we had more time. I'm confident they could have got it right. I only got to see one edit. And I didn't think it was the end of the world. I saw what it was doing. The mic's coming down, the sync was off. Because when we're rapping it, that song takes so much energy. You've seen me, people have seen me do. I'm flipping mics. I'm jumping around like a rabid monkey on stage, still trying to at 55 years old. And so me and Freddie are like this. I'm like, and this is for the questions that don't have any
answers.
The midnight dancers and the topless
dancers.
The gang, the freaks, the cars packed with
Speakers.
the G's with the 40s and the
Chicks with beepers.
the northern lights
And the southern comfort.
and it don't even matter if
your
you're
veins and punctured.
all the crackheads,
The critics, the cynics,
all my heroes in the methadone clinics, all you bastards
in the
It's
IRS,
for the crooked cops,
and the cluttered
it's
desks,
for the shots of Jack,
and the caps of meth,
the half pints of
love,
love.
and the fist of
It's
stress.
for my hookers all tricking out in Hollywood. It's for my hoods of the world
Misunderstood.
I said, it's all good.
Yeah, and it's all in fun.
Now get in the pit and try to love someone. Boom. So he's filling in those words for me. So
Red Skeleton. Did I say skeleton? Did I say skeleton?
Skeleton.
I know it's skeleton. Listen, folks, okay, so we need to have a conversation about me being 52, okay? I'm not 47 years old anymore. I'm getting older, and I'm not going to lie. Just don't let the girlish good looks and the somewhat tanned appearance and physique fool you. I'm getting older, and I'm starting to forget stuff, little stuff, and that's okay. It's going to happen. But when you run at 140 miles an hour, you're gonna slip up once in a while. You're gonna run over a few squirrels, okay? So it's gonna happen.
I can boom, bang my head, keep going and carrying on. Now when I'm doing that, you see me, I'm all over the stage. Ooh, I'm flipping the mic, I'm down here, I'm over here, back, boom.
Right.
I know these guys had a difficult time getting that sync together. So I have nothing but good things to say, not only about Turning Point, but the production team that they work with on this and other events they've done, top notch, first class all the way. Nobody's perfect, gets it right every time. But for the haters and the trolls out there,
All right, that's good enough. That's good enough. All right. So the argument here's some argumentation. We pre-recorded the lyrics, and they were supposed to take those lyrics and sync it to the track because it was recorded separately. Rock.
Yeah, that's what lip syncing is.
That's what lip syncing is, homie. I'm just letting you know.
You just defined it for us.
Just with all the love, dude. Peace in the Middle East, homie. But Rock, that's exactly what lip syncing is. You know what I'm saying? Because if I do this, hello, my name is Matthew. You fight with me. So that's dubbing. right? Did that come off good? I hope it came off. I didn't
It
see
did
it.
Actually.
Thanks, appreciate it. Thank you so much. I practice
It did
so much,
actually, yeah.
so much. So that's dubbing, right? So I'm playing a track, and my mouth is saying one thing, but the sound is doing another. And if you don't sync it, this is what you get. For instance, I could show you right now when Leeroy and I talk, we have a 10 millisecond delay because in order to sync up his connection with mine, the software that I use, I put him on a 10 ms delay, so we sync up perfectly. But otherwise, if I don't do that, my frame rate is so high on my camera, but the signal is also even higher than that. I get delay. So you've got to do this as a sound engineer, and I'm not that, but I had to learn how to do it. So Rock. Okay, so here's the good, here's the bad. We're gonna decide right now. We're gonna watch it. 17 seconds.
Sure.
Did Kid Rock lip sync? I'll tell you this: the video, he admits he lip synced, but he also still has it. Right? You heard his voice. He can still wail. He can still hit those notes, and he's not suffering from energy loss. At 55, he looks good.
Yeah.
So let's watch this and let's see what we see. Okay, everyone, let's watch it. We'll watch this a couple times. We'll break this down in slow-mo too. Okay, here it is.
And this is for the questions that don't have any answers. Midnight lanterns in the dark with dancers. Again, freeze the cars back with beepers. The G's with the 40s and the chicks with beepers. And all the
Okay, I don't know if you missed that.
No,
But-
that was, yeah, I don't know how you could miss that.
Here, let's watch it again.
And this is for the questions that don't have any answers. Midnight lanterns in the dark with dancers. Again, freeze the cars back with beepers. The G's with the 40s and the chicks with beepers. And all the
Now, if he's saying, if he would have said, listen, my mic had a delay, but the things that you were saying were showing up 4 seconds later, that's not a delay.
No, that's
That's a pre-recorded track, and the sync was off to the music that you were hearing in your headset. So they weren't synced up. So you were hearing something different than what was coming in. And more than likely, I would assume that they have a sensor delay on their broadcast. And someone forgot to sync it, and someone forgot to take it off. Because when you're recording tracks and you're doing a live show, there are times when shit can happen. I don't want to be mean and gross, but gunshots can take place, or somebody can charge a crowd, or titties can show up, whatever. So you have a little bit of a delay to duck out. It's called a duck button. I've got the same thing right here, and I can do this. Leeroy, you and I talk at the same time. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little
we can
lamb.
do this all day. I can do this all day.
There's a duck button. So I can duck us out with one push, and you won't hear us anymore. Same thing here. So something was off sync, and that's okay. Was it a good show? Absolutely. It was fantastic. When he did his acoustic bit, that was live. That wasn't pre-recorded. So listen, jury is, who gives a shit? Really? I mean, is this where we're at, that we've got to go ahead and take Kid Rock down? Is he the biggest threat in America? Obviously he is. We have to love Bad Bunny. We got to hate Kid Rock, because now they're saying, because there was a lyric in his song about him saying young girls and he liked them underage. And he also said some things about Katie and Ashley Olsen when they were 13 or 14, and then said, hey, can we all wait until they're 18, guys? You know what I'm talking about? First of all, Bruce Springsteen said some pretty weird shit in his songs, including Hey Little Girl, or Is Your Daddy Home? So there's one. And you've got the Beastie Boys that have said shit. I mean, dude, 2 Live Crew, NWA, Tupac, M. I mean, come on, people. Let's put our panties back on and take the wedgie out of our butt. So what do you think, man? Is he
I give a lot of those performers, including Bad Bunny, I give them a pretty wide berth. And I'll tell you why. At the end of the day, it's just a show.
That's right.
Whether or not it is done with some sort of, well, we're going to have to lip sync this part, or we're going to have to use a pre-recorded track here while we're doing this other thing over here. I don't care. It's the artist is putting together a show,
right?
And whether or not it's synced up, okay, great. mistakes happen, and I'm
Yep.
pretty forgiving like that. I don't care about any of the technical issues because it happens to everybody.
Yeah, let's not forget hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching you, sweet about a 14-year-old girl. That's right. So can we just be honest? I understand it's really cool and fashionable to play Where's Pedo? You know, like kind of like Where's Waldo or Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Now it's Where's Pedo? And I can't tell you how many times I've been called a pedo. I mean, it's folks, I've been married for 27 years and I made sure that nobody found out that my wife was 14 when we met. And so I've worked I don't need you guys outing me. I wanted to go ahead and also say something. You guys may remember, for the longtime viewers, people who've been here for 5 years or more, when we first started, there was a guy named Justin Mullins. This guy, why are you interrupting me?
Well,
my story is very important. It's a very important. Go ahead, fine.
Well, if anybody is interested, the 108th Congress in a text LC 15048 actually mentions the fact that ICE has arrested, within an 8-month period, they arrested more than 2,000 pedos. What?
Wanker. I was telling a story. That is completely off the segment. That's not even close. I put that in for you.
Pedos.
You sent it earlier. Like I got it like through 2 hours ago. It's in the show. Why are we jumping? Okay. You know what?
Whatever.
Excuse me. I have a few more questions if you don't mind.
All right. You got anything else? Okay. All right.
No.
All right,
no.
We got to talk about it in like 10 minutes. All right. Justin Mullins, if you guys remember him, he was nicknamed appropriately Dusty Dinkelman. He was my first stalker. And it's always nice to have them come back and reminisce and think about the good old times as we held hands. But it was Leeroy and I's first takedown together. We did it together. And it wasn't on video. It was on chat. And he didn't understand the difference between communism and socialism. And he said, actually, socialism is antithetical and completely opposite of communism. And we're like, what? So, I mean, even Marx knew better than that. So we embarrassed him. Well, he was very upset to the point where he called my work. He tried to get me fired with my bosses. He left negative comments all over like Google review. He called my house personally. He stalked my kid on her birthday. Guy was just wacko, just completely wacko. And I loved him. And in fact, the Dum Dums was named after him. We used to have the Dum Dum suckers. And
yeah,
he was his picture was on it. He was a Dum Dum. Anyway, he's been gone for 5 years. He just went off into nothing. I don't know what happened. I heard his father died about 13 weeks ago, and that sucks. And I'm really sorry about that, Justin. That's not cool. And I'm sorry you lost your pops. But he disappeared. Well, he came back, and I'm like, and of course he's like, something about pedos, right? Of course, because that's all they've got. And I'm like, oh my God, I recognize this guy, Justin Mullins. And I looked it up. I'm like, holy shit, this isn't, about 30 pounds heavier. But hey, Justin, what's up, dude? And I said, God, I remember 5 years ago when you had 5 followers and I had like 5 followers. And oh my God, we started out our pages and now you still have 5 followers. That's cool. We're at like, ready to hit 425,000 in our network, but I hope you're doing well, buddy. We'll see you soon. CJ Edit, subscribed. All right, now tell everybody what you were going to say because this is very important. And you've got my full focus. Let's just do that now. Go ahead.
Okay. Every time I hear social media blossoming with the harsh criticisms of anybody on the right that basically says, oh, you support a pedo, you are a pedo, you protect a pedo, there's a flow chart. I don't know how technical the flow chart is, but there's a flow chart that basically makes sure that everyone knows that anybody who leans right is a pedo or protects one. And I found that ironical because there was a Congress session where they had done an evaluation of ICE efforts. And they found that over an 8-month period of time, something like 2,000 plus actual pedophiles have been arrested by ICE.
Mm.
So while the Democrat Party likes to make the argument that, hey, they want to abolish ICE, defund ICE, get rid of it, or at least limit it, I don't know. In effect, they are actually protecting pedophiles because they're not funding the agency that just got 2,000 of them off the street. They're using this little very lame politics, this angle of politics to basically say, you guys are pedophiles and I'm rubber and you're glue, and it's not working, right? The arrest records show different.
Pedo. It's not pedophile. That we're not English. We're not from frickin' Downsbury, bro. It's pedo. It's pedo. It's not pedo. It's pedo. It's like Geppetto. It's like pedal.
All right, pedophile.
Okay, thank you, God. Sorry, it's just one of those things. It's like English, aluminium. It's like, listen, you son of a, listen, you son of a. We were supposed to have an English wanker
Damn
call
Canadians.
in. They're all Canadians.
Right.
We were supposed to have an English wanker call in last night. And he's like, hurry up, dude. I'm waiting for you. I'm like, dude, you got the invite 45 minutes ago, by the way. And he's like, well, I've got 2 degrees and I'm an athlete. And I'm published. And I'm like, dude, it's 12:30 in the morning and you're working. He's like, hurry up. I got to get back to work. I'm like, what are you, a stock boy? God, give me a break. Oh, yes, we're stalking Earl Grey. Catherine Herridge. We all know her. She's actually very well respected in the Intel community. She is read in fairly well. I would like to think that she probably has above most people's. She worked at the Pentagon. She's worked closely with multiple different agencies. All right, let me do this. Okay, I think we've got it back. All right, let's see if we got this back. I know what it is. Let's see, I've got to... Leeroy, go ahead and leave and come back. Please. Whew, lights are hot tonight. Whew. Do. He's coming right back. There, everybody's back. We had a lot of people on, too. It's fine. We didn't lose anybody. Everyone hang tight. We're getting everybody back. So, there's that. See Leeroy back. We're just waiting on Leeroy, folks, and we're going to be good to go. So what's going on is Leeroy's camera is it needs to be replaced. We talked about it last week. Okay, so we got to get that camera replaced. Like, this is now like emergency time to get that thing replaced because there is a glitch that's taking place with it, and I'm not sure why. But anyway, we're back. You okay? You good?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay,
Sound
so we're going to just start right away. Catherine Herridge. I'm so glad everybody's back. Yep, we're good. All right, so Catherine Herridge is, she's got a pretty good, let me just do one thing real quick, actually. Let me just switch to the middle screen to make sure that this isn't going to kick us out one more time. I'm going to keep you off this screen because until we get the new camera,
you're fine.
We just need to beta test this. And I don't know what's happening, but there's something happening with your, the green screen transfer. For some reason, it crashes on that screen. So what we need to do is we need to run some tests. So when you have some time, we can do it.
Okay.
All right. So Catherine Herridge, this is on, she just broke her silence. And I wouldn't say she's a whistleblower, but this is about the Biden laptop. And Matt, no sound on Rumble. Oh, that's right. I forgot. You guys, I got to end stream on Rumble. Hold on. Let me just, they've got no sound. Rumble. Move to new show. Sorry. Booking it now. Okay. So I'm going to end stream here. This happens, guys. Yeah, Leeroy, I gotta figure out how to do this. It just sucks. All right, ending stream. And going to create a new one. And we're going to call this part 2. Save changes. All right. Start stream. Okay. So we should be back up on Rumble now. Just blame it on Israel. Candace would. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. So we're back up. Let's make sure this is cooked in a good way. It's baked. Checking. Oh, come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go. No, it's not Gremlins. It's Leeroy's camera. We got to upgrade it.
Is it? It's mine?
Yeah. That's
what
what I'm
it's
trying.
the green screen.
Well, but it's the camera itself and the green screen. It has to down convert your camera. Your camera is literally shit, dude. It's a horrible camera. That's why I'm trying to convince you to do the phone, or we got to get the new camera. So what's happening is that its resolution isn't good enough to do a full green screen's very graphic intensive. It takes a lot to process those digital pixels and replace it. So your camera gets lapse of information and it freezes, especially when I load a graphic intensive slide or something to that effect. So here it's okay because there's not a lot going on the screen, but when I got videos going on and everything and I transfer out of that, it kind of bugs it out. So we just need to get the camera replaced. That's it. We just got to do it. All right. So Rumble's good to go. Thank you, Olivia. All right, let's rock and roll. Everyone's coming back. We've got plenty on regular, and we had like 60 people on Rumble. Sorry, y'all. Hopefully everyone comes back. Here's Catherine Herridge, and this is on the Biden laptop situation. It's pretty important. I want you guys to give this a listen and see what she has to say. I'm not a huge fan of Catherine Herridge sometimes, but like I said, she is fairly well respected in the intel community, and she's fairly well read. And here it is.
Broadcast a story about the Hunter Biden laptop after the midterm elections in 2022. We commissioned a forensic review. I got a copy of the laptop data. I have it here still. I went to a lot of effort to get the cleanest copy of the laptop data, the same data that was provided to the FBI, because I didn't want to have any professional journalistic risk for CBS News. I wanted this thing to be totally locked down. When we did the story, we did it after the midterms. I argued against that because it was ready before the midterms. And my training is that you should always do the story when it's ready to go. You should not be dictated by the political cycle. Once we got the laptop story on the morning news, I felt that there was so much there that we could still do. For example, in the text messages, there's unfortunately the use of the N-word, the liberal use of the N-word. And I thought this was worthy of a story, but I was told that it was not something that interested CBS News. Then I asked for a forensic review of the laptop, and we found that there were more than half a dozen emails that were likely used by Joe Biden. I thought that was a story, but the answer that came back was, well, we need to know what the content is of the emails. But that was going to be a years-long process. So there was no way. So there were a lot of reasons I was told not to do it, not to pursue it. I spent a lot of my time at CBS following the Hunter Biden story. And one of the things that was...
So, interesting to say the least. I'm a little confused. What are your first thoughts?
My initial thoughts are that when someone has substantiated evidence from a 3-letter, right, that if you're the head of a media group and the kind of the running process is, to her point, to air the story immediately, that it sounds like it was delayed, right, for the sake of the midterms, for the sake of votes during the midterms, which makes sense, right? But I also feel like if there is credible intel on there that would have dissuaded anybody one way or the other, to have that delayed, yeah, that's slimy. That's
Yeah, like I can understand. I mean, I can understand waiting on a story for a source, right? I can understand waiting on a story to confirm something, but like if I'm hired by CBS and they say you've got a credible story and we're not going to run it, I quit. And I go to the competition and say, I want a 2-year contract. I've got the story of a lifetime and I'm done. I'm done with CBS. I want a contract. Help, whatever. I'm not going to stay there. I'm not going to let you control. I'm a journalist. I mean, that's like a brain surgeon, saying, well, the insurance money isn't really good. So I'm going to let this person who's open in the middle, I'm going to give them 4 hours of my undivided attention. But now the money ran out and the directors came down and said, we don't have enough money to finish the surgery. So I'm just going to leave this person open and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It does make you wonder whether or not she thought of herself as, hey, am I going to kind of protect what I have so far? Or am I going to, metaphorically throw myself up in the cross? Because had she gone to NBC, for example, and said, hey, I've got this hard drive here. We need to talk about this. And if it gets me a 5-year contract, awesome. But in doing so, that would effectively sink CBS's reputation. Right. Their credibility's gone. Their ratings would have almost certainly. Yeah. And I agree with that. Their ratings would have tanked hard, and it potentially would have opened them up to lawsuits. Right.
I would have leaked it. If I'm not going to leave CBS, then I'm going to link it because listen, I made an oath and journalistic integrity is supposed to be important. The story needs to get out. I mean, this isn't some, Susie cook-off where the blueberry pie eating contest winner fudged the numbers by putting castor oil in his gut and then made everyone throw up. Stand By Me reference. But this is serious. This has geopolitical, global, economic, massive decisions that shaped the course of history. And you're going to sit here and be like, yeah, but they didn't want me to run it. It's like, well, that's like knowing COVID, something was going on in Wuhan and sitting on the story and be like, I don't think we should do that. It's unimportant. Not important.
She had a silver bullet and didn't decide to run with it.
Right. I mean, you've got Deep Throat. You've got Watergate. You have Iran-Contra, and you're going to sit on it? No. And in fact, many news agencies knew Osama bin Laden had been killed. Many agencies knew. And the White House gave a few agencies the green light to go forward, but essentially put a cap on it. But they were told ahead of time, a couple hours ahead of time, that something big was coming and to sit on it and don't release it until the president announced it. And they could go ahead and have like a 5-minute head start and say, we believe the president's going to say that Osama bin Laden was killed. And that's fine. But can you imagine if the witching hour comes and it's 9 o'clock? Well, it's not the witching hour, but D-Day comes and it's 9 o'clock and president hasn't addressed the nation. Then it's 10, then it's 11, then it's midnight, then it's 1. And you have this information and you've got credible sources. Do you go with it?
Right.
Hell yes, you go with it.
I think you do.
If you're a journalist. Now, I've sat on stories. Okay. I knew that the best way that I can describe it here is that Tyler Robertson was going to be arrested. And I knew the night before. And I gave subtle nuance and told everybody. And then at 7:56 in the morning, I texted Leeroy and I said, he remembers, they got him.
Mm-hmm.
Before anything went on the news, and I just told 4 minutes before, I said, they got him. And I just got a text from my buddy. But I told all of you that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino were going to be in Utah that night. And they were. So there were certain things I would share, but I wasn't going to share the arrest because that's not my story to tell. That's somebody else's story to tell. So I sat on it. But 4 minutes before 8 o'clock, Leeroy got a text, Amy got a text, Livia got a text, a couple other people, and I'm like, they got him because we were all waiting for it to happen.
Right.
The point is that's okay. That's holding a story because there's scruples involved. But if it was 11 and 2 and 4 in the afternoon and they still hadn't said that they arrested him, I was absolutely going to go with it. I think you have a journalistic responsibility to do so, don't you?
Well, it seems dishonest, right? For any future reporting that because you withheld that one story, then any future reporting might seem disingenuous. Can you imagine if the current kidnapping situation had already been resolved 10 hours ago? They
Right.
already knew the answers, but somebody decided to sit on it while all of America is holding its breath.
Well, let me ask you a question. If journalistic integrity is a real thing, and editors are holding and sandbagging a story, which is a conflict of interest, do you not have an obligation to take that information and broadcast that? Now, people are saying NDAs and non-disclosure agreements. That's not the way NDAs, blanket NDAs don't work. That's not the way it works. Reporters are obligated to most of them are independent, who are hired by the newspaper or the news agency, but they're independent contractors. So they work a little bit differently. They're not W-2'd employees. They work off of an I-9. I don't know what Catherine Herridge most assuredly had a contract, but I don't care. If you're a real reporter and you're honest and you're like, well, we had text messages of them dropping N-bombs, and we had actual evidence of Joe Biden communicating back and forth with nefarious people in Burisma.
That's huge.
And you sat on, well, you're complicit to a crime.
Right.
That's my point. Don't you have journalistic integrity and an obligation to report the crime at least?
That level of information would have been enough to dissuade potentially tens of thousands, if not 1 million plus voters from saying, oh my God, he knew about the laptop and it was real. And then all of a sudden, we get told during the entire campaign season, oh, the Hunter, the laptop thing it's what do they call it? Russian disinformation.
Right.
And turns out that it's true. That means you lied. And not only did you lie, but now you're in some way implicated in the fact that, wait, is the reason you covered this up because did Joe Biden have something on you? Right. Did Russia have something on you? Like, now you've opened up this entire can of worms to your journalistic integrity.
Yeah. And it makes you complicit. If a psychologist hears one of their patients talking about a crime, they have an absolute obligation to report that crime, especially if they were victims of a crime. There's a lot going on. I'm not going to talk about Arizona until I get confirmation. So I'm not going to do that. We're going to go over the video in a second. George says, can't anyone be a journalist? I mean, sure. You apply for the press credentials and $50 a year. Yeah. Anyway, something to think about. It is what it is. Folks, got to do a quick coffee commercial. It's literally 20 seconds. We'll be back in 20 for stationification.
Come on, man. Can you feel the pain? Into him now. About this new world. Ain't no track. Papa's got a brand new eye.
Go get yourself some coffee at the Don't Unfriend Me show. You can see it all laid out there before you. 6 different bags, all made by veterans. It is good shit. I promise you can also get shirts and hats and stuff. Leeroy and I are wearing some Don't Unfriend Me stuff that you can get all at the show. Actually, the hat that Leeroy has is now officially sold out. We have no more. We had brown ones, black ones, gray ones, and pink ones. They're all gone. Can't get them anymore. Anyway, a lot going on. Let's get into the Guthrie thing and talk a little bit about this, because there's been a lot of updates. So I told you guys that there was pretty much 3 scenarios that I told you could happen. Bongino, it's like Bongino and I are simpatico. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. But the 3 things that were pretty obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say anything. I'm sorry, Jen. I can't say it. So you can say that. Jen says SWAT are on their way to get the suspect in the Guthrie case. Shit is going down. All right, I'll pull it up. I'm gonna do it. We'll continue the show, folks. We got to get donations though. I cannot stream this, and I'm gonna get a copyright strike. So we got it. Come on, let's go. Let's make it happen. We know we're gonna hit it. Let's hit it. Because I don't want to do this and then go and trying to play catch up for the rest of the night. You know what I mean? I hate that. I hate that. Because we've got too much to do. We've got a shit ton to do. I got it. I'm already on it.
Yeah, I don't think we've learned any of that. We don't know if there was a struggle. We don't know, Brandon, if valuables were taken from the home or even an attempt to take valuables from the home. But to get a 150-pound person out of that home who was injured, maybe is a fireman's carry, Brandon, right? But could be two people. Brandon, your best guess here tonight.
Well, in my opinion, I think that it looks staged to me to a certain degree of this gentleman. It doesn't look like he's equipped and ready to do anything. But I think a woman of her stature, being an elderly woman, not very mobile, that's easy for a person to get her and run her out of there. I mean, she's not going to put up a big fight. She has a heart condition. She's very frail. And it just appears to me that none of that may have happened. And, this may have been a burglary or something gone wrong. And this ransom is not really associated. I cannot see a person who's that unprepared going to now ask for a ransom. I don't see those two things connecting, but I can't wait to see when SWAT team gets to because I was on a SWAT team in Tucson. When SWAT team is active and moving, that means that they have a target to some degree. They're going to go and deploy somewhere. Either they have a location for the suspect, either they're going to spontaneously, engage with the suspect to some degree. When you see the SWAT deployed, they're not there to be nice and do death notifications. They're there to actively do SWAT business.
Yeah, whether that Bitcoin is just a total red herring, that ransom notes are red herring.
Listen, I learned a long time ago that you don't do predictions on stuff like this. That there's not enough information. But the thing that I was going to say is that, first thing is that either there's a kidnapping and there's hostage. She's a hostage and they're negotiating by not talking at all. That seems very unlikely to me. A burglary gone wrong. There would be a lot more blood than there currently is, and they would be doing recovery. A kill site is going to leave a shit ton of blood, folks. I'm just letting you know. So if he killed her in the house and there was a trail of blood, and I saw the blood patterns, by the way, I've seen the photographs. Some of these things I don't release online, and you can either trust me on that or not. I really don't care. My word is, I think people have learned right now what to trust and what not to. So it's not splatter, it's blood drops. So it looks like there was an open wound or somebody nicked themselves. And remember, she's an older lady. She's probably on blood thinners and very easily could have, once again, not assuming here, just trying to give you the full perspective, could have nicked herself. I said the same thing. It's hard to move a 150, 160 pound person, especially with dead weight, and there would be a lot more blood. There would be a lot more evidence, and they're not doing a recovery right now. So that means more than likely, especially since the blood that was left on that stone was not a massive amount. So it was a trail. You would think that trail would lead somewhere, right? Because if she's dripping blood, he had to have a terminal end, which means that he puts her in a car. He didn't carry her to the border or carry her to a house. So there's got to be some sort of trail. The second thing is that you have to look at it as what most murder investigations or kidnappings is, that it's someone you know. And you've got to look at the family, and they've confiscated cars of the family. They've done multiple things with the families. So there's several different things that could happen here. If SWAT team's on the move, it could be a tip. It doesn't mean necessarily that they have a target. Now, they very well may have a target, but SWAT team could be that they think that there's a hostage situation. They could have a tip that's validated. They could have seen something. Somebody could drove by a window and said they saw her. They could have a tip that just sounds very, very credible. Or they've identified who this guy is. And can I tell you that sending in a SWAT team to go get somebody and have it be all over the news is a little strange for me. Usually,
Michelle,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, do it, buddy.
So Michelle Leinberger had brought up a good point that having an FBI agent as a Sunday school teacher for years, they're not releasing all that they know, and that's how it should be. And I would completely agree with that. 9 times out of 10, any 3-letter, there's going to be some level of what is releasable to the public kind of information, and then the stuff that they're still sifting through, the stuff that they're still going through. The fact that that video was released just earlier this morning meant that they had it probably yesterday. And since then, they have been going through it pixel by pixel, trying to reassemble the spacing, the eyes, the pupil distance. They're trying to make out any details from the backpack or from the hoodie itself, any of the clues. And I heard somebody say, actually, at one point, that the FBI was literally going through it pixel by pixel, just trying to see what details they could gain out of the video. It would not shock me to find out that based off of what he is wearing, Brad Wood donated $10, says days till
44 days. 44 days. Let me read those when you can't see them. 44 days till opening day. Go Stros. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate you, buddy.
It was mixed in the white background. Thank you.
No, I know. That's why I wanted to pull it down for you. Literally. He's right. I mean, listen, I understand the FBI. Leeroy has worked with maybe not hostage negotiation. I don't know about his background on that, but we have done interrogations. We do investigations, especially in intel, that are very similar to this. We know the type of intelligence they're gathering, what they're breaking down, what they're not, how they disseminate it, how they go ahead and follow up. These little things are universal in not just the FBI, not just the CIA, but in any collection and assessment network. So I get it. You're gonna release a certain amount of information and hold on the rest. For some reason, I don't believe they think, just my gut tells me that she's alive.
Same.
Yeah, because the urgency, they would have released this video sooner. They would have had access to this video sooner. And for someone who said that the FBI, it took them a long time to crack the codes and use the Celebrate. Okay, so let me explain something to you guys real quick, okay? We'll come back to this. A Celebrate technology is something that I've used 10,000 times in my life. Celebrate allows, if you've ever been to an Apple store, or if you've ever been to a AT&T store, Comcast, those are all Celebrate machines. And Celebrate machines are also used by 3-letter agencies. Leeroy knows this, I know this. But the technology, it's interesting, which one of the reasons I did really well working with Apple was because my intelligence background and working with Celebrate systems and very similar systems. Texas Mouse Subscribe, thank you, Texas, is that you can clone phones. And basically what it does is, instead of using the cloud, you can use a data link, IO, cable, high transfer, gigabit cable, and it allows you to take one phone and clone it to another phone and essentially take all your data and everything else, wipe it clean on one and put it to another. These processes are like riding a bike and are like just muscle memory for these guys. So for them to go into a server and snatch a video is not that extensively difficult based upon what the FBI does every single day. Now, I'm going to kick this back to Jesse and Fox real quick. My understanding is that there's been activity on the account for the Bitcoin account or the wallet, whatever it is, the e-wallet. So that is out there right now. So there is some activity there. Now, if somebody was stupid enough to register their e-wallet with their actual home address, that shocks the shit out of me. I would be surprised. And here's where my surprise is because if the demands, the hostage demands are real, then there's a good chance she's alive. But 10 days is a long time for an elderly woman without the medication, with everything else. But there are no signs of her. There was no kill site. And they've been looking for it, and they've got dogs looking for it. They have went through that entire desert in Pima County. They're looking for vultures, which most assuredly you would see it, even with blood. Even with blood, you will see certain animals, vultures, and everything else come. And it's a little bit different in Arizona because it's not like vultures out here on the East Coast or on the West Coast. A little bit different, but you do get predatory animals circling the area. You do get that kill site area where you will see signs. You also have drones, and trust me when I say this, it's a lot easier to find a body in a desert than it is a forest. That area is barren. It's red sand. It's big. It's got cacti. It's got brush, but it's not the easiest place to hide something.
No,
so
what effectively what any drone operator is looking for at that point is something called spoil, which is literally just dirt that has been recently turned over.
Right. Another thing. So some people said, well, she could have been strangulated. Absolutely true. But the blood patterns and how they were spaced out looks like they were, I don't want to get into too graphic here, but you understand that when a body dies, it essentially drops its blood reserves with an open cut or an arterial cut. And when you get a cut, most of the time after the initial spray and splatter is you're going to get, with your heartbeat, that system is going to pump blood out, and you'll see this, depending upon the heart rate, depending upon the area that she was cut. So if it's the drops are spaced out like they were in the video, about 12 inches apart, 8 to 12 inch video pictures, 12 to 8 inches apart. But here's what I want. Was the camera disabled? Do we know that for sure? Because at some point, this guy had to disable the camera, right?
Well, at first he walked up kind of unaware of how to do it, and then he goes back. He walked back to the
CJ Jenkins donated $51.99. Great show as always. So sorry, buddy, I had to interrupt you.
No, you're good. You can see that the guy walks back to the entryway to the house, grabs some flowers to shove those in the face of the camera. But all in doing so, he's exposing certain parts of himself. Very clear shot of his eyes, very clear shot of his mouth. You can see he's got a mustache. Looks like it's a well manicured mustache. So
he looks Hispanic. He looks Hispanic. I think that's very fair to say.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if this is a cartel thing?
That's okay. So I was going to tell you, okay, can we speculate a little bit? I know you hate to do it, but can we do it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking cartel all the way, like 120%. And the reason why is the trimmed eyebrows is most assuredly an effeminate thing. And Latin men are renowned for it, especially in South America, especially in Mexico. The mustache, impeccably trimmed, like very, very close, line along the lip. Eyes were very dark, and he has the build of a middle-aged Hispanic man. They kind of carry the weight all around is the best way to describe it. If you look at most white guys carry it in the gut and in the back. Hispanics tend to carry it in the legs, in the arms, in the neck, in the chin. I mean, pretty much all around. These are just little things. His gait, I don't think over 40, probably, I don't know, between 30 and 40 years old. But either way, everything screamed cartel to me. It was kind of sloppy, but kind of not at the same time. It looked like he was rocking a it looks like he's wearing surgical gloves, black surgical gloves is what it looks like, with surgical gloves over the top not to leave any fiber. A lot of this, but he's also got a big badunkadunk, dude. The guy's got a big trunk. You know what I mean? When he bent over, it looked like he labored when he bent over. Now he does have a backpack, and it looks like a 511 tactical backpack. When he bends over, he kind of labors through it. You know what I mean? So bomb squad and SWAT teams depart sheriff's office right now. And, it's breaking, guys. We'll get to it. We'll tell you, it depends upon what we hear. I don't know who this is. Let's hear what they're having to say here real quick. Sorry, guys, this is breaking. We're going to try to get to our whole show.
For the first time since our crews have been at the sheriff's station, which is the better part of 9 days, they pulled out and they headed southeast, sometime some 40, 45 miles away. What they're looking for, we have no idea. But it wasn't just SWAT team vehicles. It was also a bomb squad vehicle. It was a command center vehicle. We had the law enforcement helicopter flying around, television news helicopter flying around, all kind of focusing on this area, not only Nancy's house and Annie's house, but then the helicopters left. It is unclear if they made their way down the Interstate 10 southeast, but that is still yet to be determined. But this clearly has provided, Jesse, some much needed momentum to this case because they are following things up. You mentioned the Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin is the first time that we have heard that this Bitcoin wallet has been activated, has been opened since this investigation began. Yes, $300, not much in there, but the question is, who opened it? Was this the FBI? They certainly had the information on how to get in there. Did the FBI go in to this Bitcoin wallet? Were they putting cash in there as a lure? We have no idea because a lot of these things are unanswered. But we do know that right now the activity is still going, and it is showing no signs of slowing down.
All right. So to me, a lot of this, it seems this is what I think Leeroy and I both, I don't know if he agrees with me, would be called a show of force. It's like a fishing expedition. It doesn't seem, if you send SWAT, you send bomb squad, you got helicopters, and then they leave, more than likely that means that there was no target acquired and they left. But if you think a bomb is in an area, SWAT's not going in. Bomb squad goes in first. SWAT wouldn't even be called. You would honestly have a negotiation team go in first and try to contact the house. So there just it seems to me like there's just a lot of movement, and I think the video created a lot of tips. And I think a lot of people are calling in. They're probably getting 3,000, 4,000 tips an hour, and they've got a couple that are really juicy that look good. And someone's saying, listen, I know this guy. His name's Richard Aguilar. I've known him for 40 years. He has the same jacket. He has the same hat. I know that gun. That's my wife's, like, that's her sleeve. Those shoes. I know those shoes. His mustache looks exactly the same. Here's a picture. And they're like, let's go get this guy. We got him. So my opinion, not that I'm speculating, once again, I don't know this for sure, but it seems to me a show of force is taking place where they are actively going after leads they're getting since that video's been released, and they're going to get some false alarms. They're going to get some false positives. Leeroy, your assessment on it?
I would say that the physical descriptions, obviously that has been sent out to literally everyone, with the family's explicit plea for help. Now, what I found more interesting in there is the fact that they were mentioning so strongly the idea that the Bitcoin account, they seem to know a lot about it, and if they're able to figure out who opened it, or maybe from where it was opened, like what part of the world, what part of the country. If they're able to, I understand all of this data had been masked with an IP address, something like, a
VPN or reroute.
A VPN, yes.
Server reroute.
If they, and that makes complete sense. But if they're using a VPN, I wonder how much of that the FBI would be able to kind of maneuver within probably with the company's help of some sort. And I wonder if that's going to be the part that leads to an arrest. Just my guess.
The guy had a soul patch too. And so he had a little triangle soul patch too with a mustache. Very much Mexican, South American. And people are saying that the cartel is very, very good at this. The cartel is really good at snatch and grabs, or just grabbing somebody and decapitating them. This is a little bit different. You know what I mean? This person, them fiddling with the camera, really weird. Putting leaves in front of it, just rip the fucking thing off. You know what? Why don't you just go across the street and get yourself a little handheld laser? Go ahead and aim it at that thing, disable it with that laser, and then just pick it up when you come back. There's plenty of devices that are really easy. You can actually get a cat laser and foil one of these cameras, and that thing won't see shit. There's plenty of things. A piece of tape would have worked. An umbrella covering your face and walking up with an umbrella. There's a lot of things you could have done.
A hat, anything. Yeah.
So the gloves. So a lot of people are saying they're neoprene gloves. Don't listen to Fox News. They're not. He's wearing a regular glove, probably a cotton or a soft leather glove, and then he has a black surgical glove over the top. Okay, so so this guy doesn't want to leave fibers behind, and he wants to have absolutely no traces of him. And if you look, I believe he's duct taped his gloves underneath his coat. So he's not going to leave any body hair. This guy didn't want to leave any forensic evidence. He's thought this through. He's not stupid. And he has a very generic shoe, too. Looks like it's just a standard Walmart-style tennis shoe or whatever it would be, whether it be a Nike or Adidas or whatever.
Right.
So he's got a very common shoe.
Shock me. Anybody who has thought about this level of infiltration would have said, hey, Google, what is the most common shoe in that size here in the United States or in that part of the country? And that's going to be the ones that they're going to go buy. And to that end, they're going to have done everything they can to make sure that they didn't leave any sweat, no fibers, no hairs, nothing like that. So if that camera evidence is it, I wouldn't hang a lot of hope on that. I think that there's far more to be had out of that potential that they were able to get into the Bitcoin account. I
also, understand this. If you're thinking this, so you're not going to buy the shoes that you wear, the size. You're not going to wear the same size. You got to think about that, right? So if you put on you're size 9, you put on a pair of 11s, right? You wear a larger type shoe. But then you also have to consider that it's not difficult for people to go ahead and identify your weight based upon your shoe. And the impression you leave in the dirt. So do you wear a couple anklets with 10-pound weights on them? You have to understand, people, non-stupid people think in detail. And to catch someone like this, you have to think like them. And in human intelligence, he'll tell you, or counterintelligence or interrogation, you have to think like the person you're sitting across from. My gut tells me that this is right now, they're getting tips. They're going to get run around a lot. And I think you can anticipate more of this until they have somebody. You know what I mean? And when people say it doesn't scream cartel to me, it may not be cartel to actually do a kidnapping. Folks, I want you to go back to the number one thing, and usually it's a family member. That's just what you need to know. Yeah. They knew the person. There was a score to settle. There was something that took place. So if you do that, this could be a hired hand. This could be someone that they had hired to take her out. It also could be a kidnapping gone wrong. They could have went and got her and thought it was going to be a simple snatch and grab, and she had a heart attack. Some people said that it looks like a nosebleed. It most assuredly looks like a nosebleed because it's along with the pulse of the human body, the steps, right? The spacing of blood, a constant stream. It could have been a nick on the skin. My dad, he would bump a soft corner of a table, and he would bleed for an hour.
Older people, older people have thinner skin, and it's more likely that they can have that happen. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I will tell you this: out of everything we've said here, pretty much 98% of it is speculative. I have absolutely no idea. My contacts, friends of mine in the FBI and in U.S. Marshals, aren't saying anything. I'm not hearing shit because I don't think they know. And I think a lot of people are right now. They're fishing. They're trying to shake the trees, so to speak. As far as the gun, what does it look like? Well, the case itself looks like it's for a wheel gun. The shape of the case looks like it's for like a 44 or a longer, or maybe a 500 Win Mag or something like that. A Smith & Wesson, a longer,
357 maybe,
a 357 or a 44, something like that. A little bit longer than a 357, but if you look at it, that's what it looks like. It looks like a competitive holster, or even like a neoprene holster. Looks like a wheel gun, but the gun inside looks like a standard Glock or, a SIG or an HK or something to that effect. If anyone else, if Tommy, if you're on, or if any of my other, Melanie, my gun experts are on, and I consider myself not a gun expert, but I know enough about guns to identify, but I really haven't tried to look at it because that really, I don't care so much about the gun. But it's how he tried to disable the camera is really stupid. But this guy's Hispanic. Yeah. I'm telling you, even he almost looks Middle Eastern, because if you look right here, I'm going to show you guys something. Oh, shit. Yeah, I want you to look at this. This right here is a giveaway. Let me show you the eyelashes. Do you see? It looks like he has black eyeliner on. That's two: Chicano or Middle Eastern, Egyptian, Sudanese, Lebanese, predominantly. But if you look at the eyebrow too, the thin, curtailed eyebrow, a lot of people thought it could be a woman. I don't believe it's a woman. I don't believe it's a woman. The move, the gait, the build, I don't believe it's a woman. Just proportionally, it's not right. I believe this is a man who takes his appearance seriously. I think it's a man who manicures his eyebrows, who manicures his mustache. I think he's got, looks like he has eyeliner on, which shows Chicano predominantly. It's an inherent trait in most Chicano men. So those are the things I would look at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Matt, go look at the brother-in-law. Well, he doesn't have just a mustache; he has a soul patch. Okay, so let me go look at the brother-in-law, and then we're gonna go on some other things, and we got to get out of here, folks. 2018, we're okay. It's only 8 o'clock. It's only 8:20. We're doing fine. 106.99. Just keep it coming. Let's keep donating,
folks. If you can help pay for my hair transplant, that would be fantastic.
We already got his sex change paid for, so now we need to do this. Brother-in-law Guthrie. I'll tell you right away if I can find his picture. Oh. The eyebrows are wrong. The beard is wrong, but it really depends on when this picture was taken. But the overall emphatic folds going down are consistent with the picture. The nose, that's a good size schnoz, and I think we would see it in his mustache. Do you see how it goes down? It would be covering up his mustache. So you're not going to see that in the picture. Carrie has another. They're sending to me. You guys, I can't. You have to text it to me. Text it to my phone number. Don't text it to. I don't get Messenger on the computer. I don't. They don't have it anymore.
My law enforcement.
I'm looking for some other pictures. Hold on. I want a recent picture. Got to give me some. Oh, okay. Here we go. No, this is not the same guy. No, I don't think so. It very well might be him. I mean, he might very well be involved. But I don't think so. It's the nose, man. Let me see if I can find this other picture. Hold on, let me get.
Mine is also pretty distinctive.
Yeah, let me get a close up. I'll tell you right away. No, the eyebrow pattern is it's not the same. I'm looking. Hold on. I think the space is off, guys. Those eyebrows are way too close together.
The pupil distance, they can check that.
They can, and they can do. They've got measuring devices that can put this up, and they'll get. I don't know. Look at that picture right there. Does that?
I'm not seeing it.
I'm looking at the space, but look how thick the bridge of his nose is in between his eyes. The spacing on the eyes.
There should
actually,
be. He may have shaved, but if he didn't, then what's under the mask seems like it should be a little pushed out more. It should
got
be
a double chin
less
though.
Defined.
He's got a double chin though. You can see that. See that?
Yeah.
It's like you can see that he's got some jowls on him. And yes, he could have shaved, and he could have looked at it and said, "I'm going to shave my eyebrows," and that would explain why he's got manicured eyebrows. Not necessarily a popular thing. Is, well, I'm going to try to disguise myself. Yes, he could have gotten his brows done. We're processing information here. Let me see if I get another picture here. This is what we do, folks. This guy's got to be. Hold on. Hey, you guys. Let me ask you this. Hold on. Everyone, hold on. Hey, Leeroy? Okay, you gotta help me. All right. Leeroy, can you hear me?
Yep.
We gotta get that camera fixed, dude. It's killing our show. It's killing our show.
So just go with the green for now. Just turn off the...
I can't do that. It's gonna block the show. We got to get rid of it completely. So we gotta delete all the cameras and pull it. I'll do it later. What I need you to do is like find...
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and pop off.
Cool.
And we'll try and make arrangements, and I will see everyone later this week on Thursday. Love you guys.
Let's do that, buddy. That works out. Thanks. Hey, listen, it's not your fault, dude. It is what it is. All right. Well, he's gone. You know what? I'm not okay with that. Let me call him real quick. Make sure he's okay. I want to make sure he's okay. I don't want him to feel bad like it's his fault. It's just his damn camera's fault. Here, let's give Leeroy a call real quick. Hold on a second. Let's see this. Hey, Liv, would you get a hold of Leeroy, make sure he's okay? Thank you. So here is something. Sucks to lose Leeroy, but we got to get that camera fixed. It keeps crashing us. Fox said SWAT is going to Annie's house. Look at this. Look at that. Take a look at that. I'm not trying to play internet investigator here. I'm just wondering. Holy shit. Liv? Liv? Look at that. You see it? My screen. You ready? You want to know who this guy is? I mean, I'm just playing here. I'm just playing. Just doing my thing. God, don't crash, you son of a bitch. Hawthorne, California, Derek Kallela is reported as the individual arrested for sending a fraudulent ransom demand that family. Authorities maintain that the use of VoIP app detects relatives posing as the abductor and demanding payment in Bitcoin. Investigators trace the messages back. What if it's his brother? What if it's a family member? What if it's somebody related to him? Because that's weird. That's weird. Because I was looking at this guy, I'm like, you know what? He kind of looks like that guy that they arrested. You know what I mean? Because I remember him. I'm like, he kind of looks like the guy arrested. I mean, the head shape, the fucking chin, the structure, the mouth placement, everything. Look, yeah, the lips look exactly the same. I mean, and this is a Hispanic man, but look at the remember the mascara on the eyebrows? Look, it's on the outside. If I'm right about this, I get a Pulitzer. I'm just saying, dude, like if literally like everybody doesn't go, okay, let's shower Matt with money. Are you okay, baby? Oh shit, Rumble. Liv, we forgot Rumble. I'm so sorry, Rumble people. You guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So freaking sorry. I'm going. End stream. End. All right, we're going to turn it back on Fox. I'm here with you for the haul, folks. I'm here with you for the haul. I'm telling you, that's weird, though, right? Isn't that weird? I mean, if the guy's connected and they arrested him, he had information about her. You know, I mean, listen, if I was the FBI, I would be contacting him. I'd be questioning him, be talking about his family members. What if he's involved? Check Rumble now. Rumble should be good. Livy, check it. Folks, we are sitting at 106.99. We are desperado. Come here, puppy. Come here, honey. Ashla, come here. I accidentally clipped her with a chair a little bit. Debbie says, if you're right, you should be president. Holy shit. Listen, I don't. Damn it. There it is. Check it. All right, Rumble. I'm sorry. Okay, we're good. The Rumble people need to know to flip to other platforms when the stream freezes. Yeah, it just sucks because I never want that to happen. You know, I always try to make sure our stream is good. And Leeroy's frustrated too. He's frustrated, you know? Hey, Mel, what's going on, sister? Tell me what your thoughts are.
Well, the husband has been my number one suspect in this whole thing from the very get-go. So it's really yeah.
What did you think about what did you think about that picture that I put up of the guy who was arrested?
Oh, that was awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Once they put that video cam picture up, I went, look at the shape of the face. It's exactly the same. And I did that this morning or whenever they put that up, and I went, that's exactly the same, whatever. And the thing is that really, and I said it earlier, still concerns me is the time delay that this person was in the house and the evidence or whatever. They've never really saying her meds were not in her house or they were in the house. So that is a key part. So if the meds were gone, that should have been
right.
That should have been disclosed right off the bat.
Right. Because someone's going to try to keep her alive for a period of time.
Exactly. So for nobody to say anything, saying, "Oh yeah, she needs her meds," blah, whatever. Well, you guys searched the house, you did whatever, you didn't see robbery, you didn't see whatever,
right?
But you never said that the meds were not there. The person was gone, but the meds were not.
It's a great point. No,
yeah.
It's but I'm telling you, this person, this Kalila guy, this is the one that they got for sending the first false report with the false ransom demand. This is why I don't believe that this seems like a retribution. This doesn't seem like a ransom demand. It seems like reciprocity to me. It seems
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's because Nancy and Tommaso, they're the poets and the biology teacher or whatever the fuck he thinks he is or whatever. And the ransom notes were written in this wonderful language. I'm like, it sounds like a poet to me. Anyways, this sounds like an inside job. And that's why they keep going back to the sister's house, because they know there's something there. Like they know.
Well, this is
they're just trying to find the connection.
There is a complete blackout on this. And I don't believe that. Because there's nothing confidential about this. Like if there's rumblings in departments, you know how this works. Same way in the military, people talk.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
With my contacts in the three letters and some of the federal agencies, whether it be Secret Service or U.S. Marshals or FBI, I would have heard something by now. Somebody would have reached out and said, hey, just FYI, we're looking at this. This is, I'm telling you, I believe the SWAT deployment was, they're getting a shit ton of tips right now. Everyone and their mother thinks they know this guy, and they got a credible, something that really resonated with them, and they went after it. Come here, baby. I love you. I love you. I'm so sorry, my puppy, my baby puppy.
Ash.
I know. I barely touched her with my chair, and she's like, "You son of a bitch."
I know.
All right.
No, I know.
You want me to move the chair? Okay, go. Get in there. You're good. Go lay down. All right, Mel, love you, kid. I'm going to keep covering this, and I've got some other things to do. Talk to you.
You betcha.
Okay, bye.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah, I love you too. Bye. Now listen, am I saying that that this guy is? No, I'm just saying that's not bad. That gets the age, that gets his eyes, that gets he does have that Middle Eastern appearance, like the nose is similar. I mean, there's a lot there, guys. Could it be the same guy? I don't know. But that's pretty obvious, right? So the FBI should be able to see that. Let's listen to what's going on here on Fox, and then we'll cover some other stuff. By the way, 181. We're $120 away, folks. We've got 26 minutes. I got to put up the clock. Hey, there it is. We're going to do 30 minutes on the clock. All right, let's listen to this for a little bit, and then we'll...
Chris Schwecker is a former assistant FBI director. Chris, we had you on last night. A lot's happened in 24 hours. What's the headline?
Well, headline is there'll be a solution, I think, within the next 24 hours. I mean, this reminds me of the Brown University case, where you could just feel it. The investigation was at a stage where they were at a warehouse, they were at a hotel, everybody was on the move, SWAT team was on the move. So it feels like that right now. And having been a SWAT team member, they don't go out in the middle of this time of evening to go train. I mean, they went out there with some sense of urgency. You got the mobile command center out there as well, and the bomb squad.
Right.
So something's cooking there.
Right.
And I got to say, the activity around Annie's house is noteworthy. And that's all I'll say at this point right now.
Okay, so define noteworthy, Chris, because they've been there, I mean, almost every other day since this started.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what that is.
They have not left that location. They've been back there every day, gumshoeing up and down the neighborhood. Today, with some intensity, knocking on doors, asking if something, they want to look for something that might have been dropped on the property or left on the property. And it's just in too close a proximity to Annie's house to not think that they're on to something involving perhaps the husband or someone in the family.
Completely concur.
So, that you got the two things going on at the same time. We're on the outside looking in. It's hard to say.
I have allergies. My nose is just, itching like a son of a bitch. So, no, I'm not on cocaine, and no, I'm not picking my nose. I'm scratching it because it's just on fuego. Oops. I did it now.
That seems like they're closing a circle there for, I mean, I hate to think that they would have anything to do with the disappearance of their mother. It's just amazing. But when you looked at the video for the first time and you saw the guy's eyes, you saw his mouth, you saw his gait, how did that strike you?
It leads me to believe that we've identified suspects on much less than that. I mean, when you look at the clothes, you look at the way his shape. This person is in shape. He wears tight clothes. You can see the shape of his head underneath that that mask that he's wearing. You can see the real dark mustache. This is a dark person. The equipment.
I disagree that he's in shape. I'm just letting you know. I don't concur with that. I don't think he's out of shape, but I think he probably has a mid physical build. He's a muscular guy. He's a big burly guy, but he's not athletic. He's not. He's built like me. He's built like No, he's not. He's built like me. He's a big dude. He's not small. I disagree with that, especially the way he moves. Oh, I hate that we crashed. I really wanted Leeroy on tonight for the rest of the night. Oh well. I feel like I'm missing my brother.
What do you mean?
I see a real dark mustache and dark eyes, and just a hint of some dark eyebrows. So I don't believe this is a red-haired or blonde person. I think this is someone who's dark. You don't grow a mustache that dark without being kind of a swarthy person. So, I think we'll get a height at some point. I think there's some details that have not been released. They, very quickly in other cases, they've released the height of the person and the other things. Perhaps there's some voice in there that they've reconstructed or other video. If they can reconstruct that Nest video at that door, they can certainly reconstruct video from all the other cameras on that.
He's not a small guy. Those arches are usually 9 feet. Door is 8 feet, especially on those homes, especially in Arizona. They're ranch style homes, so they don't have basements because the clay is way too hard. It's not that they can't. It's very expensive. Pools are about as far as you get. They don't do a lot of basements in Arizona. Plus, they get serious flash floods out there, big time, because of the monsoon season. So he looks 6 foot plus. He looks like a big guy. I'm gonna watch that again. Let's watch this. Let's see his height. Nothing but technical problems tonight. I'm so sorry, y'all. Sorry.
Out there and have some witness come forward and
correspondent Trace. Yeah, Jesse, we just a couple of quick updates here for you. We just found out that the bomb squad has now brought back their truck to the sheriff's station here in Pima County.
Told
and the
you.
person who was inside the bomb squad has now gotten into a cruiser, a sheriff's cruiser, and is apparently just sitting there waiting. Now, that said, it has been dark now for the better part of 25, 30 minutes, and the FBI agents are still in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood, kind of canvassing that area. At last check, there was at least a dozen agents, and they're still kind of going, and they're checking the shrubbery, even at night, kind of going through that area. We have no idea what they're looking for, but they have been going inside backyard areas. They have been going up to neighbors, knocking on doors, showing them pictures.
It's almost like they're being fucked with. Melanie's going to go measure. I think it's 9 feet. California is a little bit different, but their ranch styles are very similar. And the one outside my house was 10 feet. Doors were 8, so it was 2 feet above the doors. Check those arches. Yeah, like I said, that's why this guy that I showed you in the screenshot, because his eyebrows would match, especially if he had, balaclava on or ski mask style on. I don't know. I mean, listen, that, let's listen to the rest.
Driving around neighborhoods trying to find them. So far, we have not located those vehicles. When we do, we'll let you know.
All right. Appreciate it, Trace. Thank you.
No, the Ring doorbell would absolutely be eye level. It would be for average middle person. They usually put that about 2 feet above the lock. So yeah, it's about 2 feet above the lock. So he's taller than the camera. So you got to figure if that door is 8 feet, he's 6 foot. He's not tiny. He's a big dude. So door 8, my outside has 2 feet more. Yep. So that's the way mine is. Ranch style homes. I've owned 2 ranch styles. So that is similar, very similar. And I've lived in Arizona at a house very similar to that too. All right, let's listen.
Photographs. It appeared that they were taking items out of the house, and there was mention made that they were there on a consent search. And I brought this up that
really?
If you're going to look for evidence, and I think the counselor will agree with me, if you're going to look for evidence that might be incriminating, you're going to want to get a search warrant, not a consensual search. And the reason for that is because the burden of proof is so much greater on the state because of a consensual search. Now we're seeing that they are back at the residence. They were back inside the residence. And my question is, I wonder if this has now changed from a consensual situation to a search warrant, but we won't know that, but they will have to file that.
Yeah, Josh, so it's them saying, yeah, come on in, take a look around. Here's my phones. I'll give you whatever you want. Or do you hear that Annie and Tommaso have lawyered up? I mean, even if you're completely innocent, you probably want to have a lawyer, right?
Yes. I mean, yes, that's always good advice, but we have not heard anything about them lawyering up. All that we've ever heard is that they have always maintained cooperation with authorities. The authorities have always said they've cooperated. We know they've been interviewed more than once. I'm sure that they have handed over their digital devices. To your point about providing an alibi, you also can provide an alibi through your digital devices. Your phone is going to say everywhere you've ever been and what you've been up to. They've provided all of that. We've never heard anything out of either the FBI or local.
I'll just tell you what, I do not believe that's the brother-in-law. Just the eyes. You see how he has the emphatic fold down? This guy doesn't. He has a teardrop effect in his eyes. They're not the same eyes. Now, even his head is different shape. That other guy fit perfect. That's weird. But I'm not saying it's not the brother-in-law because I suspect the brother-in-law. And we got to turn that in an angle. Folks, you don't get this type of analysis anywhere else. You know how you can go ahead and appreciate that? Say, hey, we want the Don't Unfriend Me show to keep going. The best way we can do that is help donate to the show, especially when the show is only at $181.99. Thank you, Chuck Peterson. $75 donation, Chucky. I appreciate you, bud. I don't know if I said that. I don't think so, guys. I think the mouth's in the wrong place. This guy's got a wide head. This guy's narrow. I don't think the picture is ratio to proportion. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, his eyes go down. They're emphatic folds that go down. The other guy, straight across and teardrops. They're not the same eyes. They're different. I'll tell you whose eyes they look like. This guy's. That's whose eyes they look like. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. I'm not trying to make this happen. I'm just saying. I've been wrong before. Been wrong many times. Let's just find out. You know, I mean, that's the best way to find out. But it is a relative. The FBI wouldn't keep going back to Nancy's house. That's I'm with Mel. Like it's always a family member, guys. And if you ask the FBI, you really ask them, and they're going to be honest off air. They're going to be like, it's always a family member. What's the reason to take the mom? Once again, I don't know. Melanie Marino donated $21. Thank you, Melanie. 20309. We're almost there, folks. 14 minutes away. Listen, we had a full show prepared for you tonight, but we're obviously covering this Guthrie thing. There's a lot of information people want to know. They want to know what's going on. They want to know. But yeah, usually it's money or it's a crime of passion. What I would be doing is I'd be going through all the family's gambling debts to see if there are any. Drug habits. Drugs are really big in Arizona. Eyebrows too manicured, but I don't know if that's true. Because if you look at the mask, it looks like it cuts off half the eyebrow. So they look trimmed and manicured. But remember that photo is, we don't know when this photo was taken. We don't know. Once again, I don't know. JD Stibble donating $25. Thanks for a good show, but this is for Leeroy's hair regeneration plant. Well, you have to think it's a family member, right? And that's not personal. If something happened to Olivia, of course, the first thing, I'm going to be the suspect. That's just standard. Usually it's spouse. If spouse isn't around, then it's family member. If it's not a family member, it's someone they knew. So the radius gets bigger. It doesn't get smaller. The smallest radius is spouse or lover. Once that's established, then it's family member. Once that, it's a person who worked on the house or was commonly there, maybe a caretaker or somebody who was cleaning the house or somebody who was installing something or building something. I'd be checking everything. I would especially be checking with Hispanics. I'd be checking lawn care. I would be checking, any type of, people that do that type of agriculture or stuff like that. Nobody in the neighborhood didn't have cameras. Well, that's the thing, is that if you take a look at the spacing of the houses and the way those houses work, those are all dirt out there. They're not paved. This is the desert. And I stress that this is the desert. And in fact, most of those roads out there in Pima County, I mean, especially some of these off properties, they get washed out. I mean, they get those flash floods out there and those roads get wiped out. Sibling jealousy. Savannah has buku bucks. Nancy doesn't. Yeah, listen, we don't know. We don't know. But family members, a safe bet. We're going to find out. I'm going to turn it on here. We're going to listen a little more. It's going to take us into the 9 o'clock hour, and then we'll go from there. Why is CNN not covering this? Well, because it's not important to them, I guess. Look at the difference between his left and right eyebrow. His left eyebrow has more of a sharper curve. Yeah, there's definitely idiosyncrasies in the photograph. Like, there's enough there for them to identify this guy. Because all you need is a mugshot of that person and then ratio to proportion. They'll do exactly what I did and do an overlay. And they have much more sophisticated points. Like, they will measure the size of each eye. They'll measure the distance between the two. They'll know where the bridge is. They'll know where the tip of the nose. They'll know where each nostril flare is. The lymphatic folds in the face. They'll know where the dip is in the lip. I mean, they'll know all these things. And they'll measure it, and they'll have a probability match, and they'll be able to get it to a centimeter. Yeah, but no, there's not a lot of lawn to mow, but there are pool people. There's agriculture. You get a ton of agriculture work. Like I said, you got to take care. Although there's a lot of cacti and things like that, you do have people who come in and clear brush and take care of the plants that you do have there. There are lawns in Arizona. I know that doesn't sound like there are, but there are. But you get a lot of agriculture, and you got a lot of pool guys, because pretty much everyone has a pool in Arizona. Did I want to advertise Bob's Furniture? No. I want someone to buy coffee. That's what I want. Let's listen to this.
Meanwhile, TMZ is reporting activity in the ransom account and SWAT teams on the move. Chad Ayers is a former SWAT assistant team leader. When you guys are deployed in a situation like this, what would you expect?
Yeah, Jesse, I want to be very careful about a lot of the information we give out right now. Obviously, we want to protect Nancy Guthrie. If she is still being held captive, this could jeopardize her life. It could also jeopardize the lives of HRT or the SWAT team if they do have good intelligence as to where they are. We do not want them being ambushed.
Oh, come on, dude. I want to thank Jeff Oliphant for buying a bag of coffee tonight. Got the Moab. Enjoy it, Jeffrey. You will love it. I know that's your second reload, so enjoy it.
Teams will probably be deployed, drones, to verify exactly where, if it is a hostage rescue, where this person is. Now, keep in mind, this may not actually be a hostage rescue. Maybe they just have an idea as to where a possible suspect, they have hard intelligence as to where the suspect is. If that's the case, then maybe the local authorities are going to go in, sweep in, or maybe it's an accomplice, someone that they know, and they're trying to get more information. So right now, though, I think it's just very important that, listen, we have every major news outlet and local news outlet camped out. So it's very hard to be discreet in their movements, but I think it's really, really important to just be careful what we put out. We don't know who's listening.
So it could be a host of options. Could it also be an option that Nancy has been dropped somewhere and she is alone and waiting to be picked up?
Sure, I think that's a fair case. Now, I don't think it's going to be like something that we see on a Hollywood movie where we're staged up on she's on one side of the bridge and our tactical teams are on the other. But absolutely, we would want, first of all, and I guarantee the SWAT team, HRT, has medics. I am certain she's probably going to need medical attention if she is, found alive. So 100%, I completely concur with that.
And would this be a negotiation? Would they bring in an FBI negotiator if it is a captive that you guys are looking to release? How would that play out?
Yeah, I'm sure that's already probably started if they do, if they are in communication.
I'm hesitant. The longer this goes, the worse off it is for her. 10 days is a long time. You got to feed her. You got to get her medicine. You got to clothe her. Is her medicine missing? Did they take it with her? I hope they find her alive. Like that should be everybody's prayers, But it's just, that's a lot. It's hard for me to believe that these ransom calls are genuine because the first one was found to be bullshit. So it's more than likely that these ransom calls are not accurate. Tom says, I have rocks and gravel and a pool here in Tucson. Water is too expensive to have a nice lawn. Yeah, but in Anthem, we had a great lawn, and it was, so Anthem, you could have a lawn. It was a little cooler and was closer, to the northern part, not Flagstaff, but northern Phoenix. You can actually get a lawn, but this is just weird, and I understand people's fascination with it. There's also the risk factor, right? There's a risk factor. If they wanted money, they should over communicate. They didn't communicate. The longer you leave her alive, the more opportunity is to recognize you. It's I don't know. I think they find her. That's what I think happens. I think they find her. I think somebody stumbles upon her, and it may not be today. It might be 10 years from now. I mean, that's just the truth. Stranger things have happened. This could be a start of a new serial killer. I mean, we don't know.
And obviously, it's purely speculative. Law enforcement's not going to do that. I know the first blush is to think, all right, they're trying to lure him out with a couple of $100, and maybe he's dumb enough to take it, and then they got another data point to work at. Here's my assessment of that. The two letters, I think this cuts against the two letters being genuine.
Right.
The two letters
God, I love Paul Morrow.
No real proof of life. Always made us all skeptical.
Yep.
That tells me that this is a bad guy crew who put up a Bitcoin address that they own, and that stayed up.
That's correct.
And when they didn't get what they wanted relative to this, the deadline passed, they realized they weren't going to get paid without paying for proof of life that they can't provide.
Then they cut me.
They went back to business as usual.
That's
What's
right.
business as usual? Selling identities on the internet that they grabbed off the dark web for $100 each.
I love Paul Morrow.
And so
if you guys aren't listening to Paul
digital
Morrow,
wallet,
you need to, because he's excellent. He's got a great podcast, very smart ex-cop.
It's over in Russia, a ransomware crew or something like that. And this is the kind of stuff they do, and now they're back to business as usual because they didn't make what they thought was going to be an easy score out of this terrible situation.
And we're looking at the video that the FBI released. They were able to get Google to release some of this back-end cloud footage from this camera that wasn't recording but somehow was being stored. When you watch this, tell me how you interpret his movement, the way he walks.
Let's see if Paul and I are on the same wavelength here.
Well, first of all, he's very unhurried. He almost seems quite comfortable there.
Yeah.
I think from what I can see, he's wearing something else under the ski mask. Hard to see what. The glint in his mouth. Sometimes you see that. I'm talking to a detective today who has seen it before. They use a bite light or a very small camera because his teeth seem to glint at one point. And actually, when he bends down to mess around with the bush, which is also very amateurish to try to cover the camera, you see it flash for a sec. So that tells me this is not somebody who is sort of the James Bond of criminals here. Now, it could be just glinting off the light. It's very hard to tell for what we've got. But let's understand what Google did here. She didn't have a subscription. It's not film. It's not film. This is digital stuff that they managed to pull out, probably from somehow or another communicating with her Wi-Fi system.
Yeah, I mean,
love you, Mel. Thank you.
God, the FBI came in and salvaged this with Google, because without this, I mean, we would have nothing. So Kash Patel obviously deserves a lot of credit here. Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's bring in former FBI profiler and Criminal Minds writer Jim Clementi. Jim, I mean...
So Paul Morrow knows his shit. I mean, he's excellent. He's so good. I love his analysis. I would love to be on his show, love to talk to him. Here's the good news, is tomorrow we have a full show to cover. We've got a ton of stuff to cover. And that's great because we'll have all the slides prepared, ready to go, which means I can build in some other stuff. And Olivia and I'll just be ready to rip, roar, and go. Paul Morrow's so good. Just listen to Paul Morrow. He knows his shit. This guy deserves to be big. And he's just one of those guys. Yeah, it's a Glock. No, it's not. I think it might be a Sig Sauer. Hold on. I just caught a flash of the gun. Tommy, did you see the gun? It's got that recurve handle. Come on.
Please go.
No, I was going to say that people know this guy. He lives and works in the community. So he would have been stressed before this. He probably was moaning about financial worries that then he said, oh, they're going to be over soon. He probably has been hiding, not going to work, calling in sick, maybe leaves town for an emergency. But people will see these changes in behavior, especially after today when these images were released. He's going to show.
I'm telling you right now, that is a camel tone desert tan bag. And I believe it's 511 tactical. It's got the refractors. It is a hiking bag, but it's got the refractors on the front, but not on the back. So it's got it on the pull straps, but you can tell by the material, it's semi-shiny. My gun bag is that way. My tote bag's that way. My valve pack is that way. And I got a 511 bag that's similar to that, and it looks very similar to that. Fudge.
East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 7 p.m. in Pena County, Arizona. We have breaking news tonight. There are multiple big breaks in this case, including bombshell new video from the FBI. We'll have more on that in a moment with Kash Patel.
Hey, Liv? Can you go grab my Glock in the place that it's at out there? In the place that it's out there? That looks like a SIG. The handle looks like a SIG. It looks like a 3.6. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a 3.65. I'm not going to guarantee it. But do you see how the mag comes out? That looks like that. So if you're looking at it, it would look like this. And you see the profile, how this hump right here, that's a SIG. Will you grab my HK upstairs too, please? It's not a Glock. You don't have this right here, which is your expansion for your back that comes out that makes your grip bigger. It's not a Glock. Ooh, but I've got an extended. The regular Glock mags don't do that. It's not a Glock. I don't think it's a Glock. This is what's throwing me off because that looks very similar. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. No, I don't need any more. Thank you. This is an HK. It's a VP40. Yeah, I don't think it's HK. Like, understand that most grips, most body frames are similar. Not all SIGs are the similar. A lot of SIGs are very different. I don't think it's a Smith & Wesson. I don't think it's an M&P. I've got an M&P and a Smith, but I'm not going to go get it. It looks like a SIG or possibly the Glock. Hey, Liv. Can I get this back to you? Thank you, sweetheart. What are you coming around for? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna scream SIG just because the mag profile and the back side. It's pretty close. My guess, it's a SIG or a Glock. That's my guess. Somebody said Walther, maybe 365. It feels like a 3. This is a 365 macro X, so this is a 365. So that's about right. But I'll tell you what, that case is not correct for it. That looks like a neoprene style case. You know what I mean? It looks like what you would use for a wheel gun, like a 44 or a 357. Beretta? No, not anymore. Yeah, 365. That's 365. The Taurus G is very popular budget gun. Taurus is very popular. So is XP or M&P, but I don't think so. It looks. Listen, I could be wrong. I mean, we what was it, the 3250? Is that what it was? The other thing, we were a couple models off with the last gun. You know, the one for the Pretti situation. We were right there. So I'm pretty comfortable that it looks like a 365. But the grip, it's really the mag. The mag is just distinct. It very much looks like a Glock, but it sits outside. It sits outside the grip extensively. You don't get that with a Glock. And it's the extra round. It's an extended mag in here. It carries 17. Why didn't he just pull the camera off instead of the shrub? Right. I mean, we said the same thing. Why didn't he go ahead and point a laser pointer at it? There's plenty of things that he could have done. He could have sat off on those bushes way back and aimed a laser pointer at that thing and set it up on a rock and till he got to it. Don't look like a Ruger for sure. No. I wonder what the temperature was outside at the time. In the high desert? Oh, it was cold. Oh, yeah. It was cold. And especially, we had a cold front. Arizona gets chilly. People think it doesn't. It gets cold. Debbie Boggs' birthday. What? Happy birthday, Deborah Boggs. I didn't know it was your birthday, sister. Happy birthday. Also, Justin from Rumble called last night about dad. He talked to his dad today, and his dad agreed to let Justin help him get the VA rep. Outstanding. Good stuff. Are SIG the machine gun of the handgun then? What do you mean? Oh, are they the machine gun of the handgun? No, but I don't understand what that means. Because of their cyclic rate? No. I mean, HK would be close because of MP5. I don't know what that means. Happy birthday, Deborah Boggs. And Justin, I'm very happy because the magazines, you mean? Not the clips. We don't do clips. Clips are World War II. Clips are for. Sorry, I don't mean to be an asshole. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just saying clips are for the one above the M1 carbine there. Let's see the carbine over the left. There's an M1 Garand above it. And my picture. Oh, I might be able to get it. Hold on. You see if my picture goes that high. No, it doesn't go that high. But M1 Garand takes a clip. Handguns don't take clips; they take mags. But no, I just don't understand the question. Yep, grips are for Garands, AKS, SKSs. Yep. Yeah, just mags, not clips. Clips is Lethal Weapon, and movies like that. You know, they call them clips. Give me a clip, man. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, dude, I don't know what you're. Okay, I think you're. I don't know what you're talking about, but dude, find somebody else. Watch a little bit more of this, see where we're at, and then we'll go. See if we can get this to refresh. Have I put a clip in a mag? Yeah. Yeah. Because they make one for the M1, but that's not a handgun. Yeah. Clips are for firearms with built-in straight magazines. And they have, I've got it. Hey, Liv, sorry. Could you do me one more favor, sweetheart? And I'm sorry I yelled at you. Could you grab me the rounds over there of the M1? That's on just the bullets, Liv. I don't remember what this is called. But my buddy who brought them to me for some of the World War II merchandise that we've got. What's wrong? So, thanks. Yeah. So this is what it looks like for the M1 Garand. And that's where you get that ding when it pops out. And that's where you can get Garand thumb too. Oh, fuck. I've never done it. I don't want to do it. But this is also a version. You see this? So this is for the carbine. And these rounds sit here on this slide, and when you do that, this extends into the magazine and loads a mag. I believe that's how it works. Never tried it, but he told me. So he gave me this. And so it would go into the magazine. So it's a clip fed into a mag. So yes, you're right. That is possible with the M1 carbine. And this would be for, let's see, 2, 4, it's probably 10 round. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep, the 10 round standard, which is a straight magazine. I've got a banana. I've got a 30 round M1. So this wouldn't work with that. Well, it would, but I'd have to do it 3 times. But this is like a speed loader for a mag. You put your thumb down there, shove it down into the mag, and then this thing pops back out and leaves the rounds in place. Does that make sense? Stripper clip. That's what it's called. Yep. That's right. That's what I learned. Stripper clip. Yep. That's 30 caliber carbine. That's my M1. That's my father's M1. I love that thing. I'm lethal with that fucking thing. Like I can hit a flea from, I'm pretty lethal with that thing from 125 to 150. Pretty good. That's about really it. It replaced the pistol in Vietnam. See, the 45s were too expensive and they were losing them. So the M1 carbine was supposed to replace the pistol for officers. It wound up being a pretty lethal fucking weapon. They're amazing. It's my favorite. Yep, banana mag. Yep. It's just a standard recurve mag. And I've got, I don't know, 5 or 6 of those. And that's, you can see right there. It's actually in. And you can see I've got 2 standard 10s in the pouch on the M1 carbine there, and then I've got 1 full loaded mag straight down. Yeah, they're in perfect condition. The M1 is perfect. like perfect. There's no rust. It's perfect. It's gorgeous. The wood is just perfect. Same with the M1 carbine and granite. They're perfect. They're museum quality. They're my babies. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. This is what I guess we're going to play a little bit of this. I'm going to play a little, and then we're going to get off of here.
Private sector partner engagements that showed us that there might be persons of interest in and around the area related to this event. And so first and foremost, our priority is to find Nancy Guthrie. And of course, right behind that is to find anyone and any others involved in this kidnapping case to make sure they're brought to justice. And that's what we're doing. We're protecting the integrity of the investigation. But we're also being very public because this is a very public-facing case.
Tommy, you need to get out here. And let's go rack off a few rounds of this M1 Garand. So amazing. I mean, look at that round. Oh, just a beast of a weapon. Just a bad bitch. Nope, the clip is the holder for the rounds, and the AR-15 is the stripper clip. I don't know. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the M1.
Our partnerships, and I do believe we are looking at people who at least they are persons of interest. But as you know, with any investigation,
30-06 Springfield, it's probably one of my favorite rounds to shoot. I like my 308, but 30-06 is a good round, and that's what it is. She's a beast. I mean, terrifying. I mean, a lot of powder, a lot of speed, a lot of velocity, and a lot of weight. 30-06 is beast. 308, I love my 308. I don't understand the loaded pack. What do you mean, Tommy? Are you talking about this? M1. Right in. Go to town. And that's right, it's a stripper clip. So this is to preload the mag of the M1, because I don't think you can't fire it. That's not good. No. This would be to load a magazine. This is like a speed load for a magazine. Am I right about that with the stripper clip? Is that what it's for? You don't actually put the stripper clip in the M1. No, because you can't fire that without the mag. I don't know. I've never tried. I've never tried to put a single round in an M1 and fire it. Did anybody know? See, this was given to me. I've never used this ever in my life to load. So, yeah, it's a speed loader. Yeah, okay, good. I'm just making sure. Like, I don't know everything. Did you guys see the grenades that I got? And not to the ATF and the military. No. But if you take a look right above the helmet, you can see there's a 30 or a 20 millimeter round right here. There's a 30 millimeter round right next to the helmet. There's a WW2 hand grenade, pineapple, and then right below that there's the rifle. There's the rifle rocket, rifle grenade, right below it. I finally got that thing painted and refurbished. That's hanging right underneath the M1. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, dude, I can't wait for people to, like, we want to do that spring concert. We're very interested in trying to get it done. We haven't started focused on it because it's the winter, but we want to do that. But we want to get some people out here, come see the house and come see the set, because that would be fun.
Last question, if I may. Do you feel like it would be appropriate to say you feel with this progress today that the FBI is closing in?
The FBI is making advancements, and I don't want the people out there to have a false hope of what we are putting forward, but we have made significant steps in executing this investigation like we do when we deploy our tactical and expertise capabilities and our evidence response technicians and our agents on the ground. And that's why we've made such progress, because we've committed so many resources to this investigation, and we are using headquarters components and components from around the country to make sure that every single person and expert is on the ground in Arizona for as long as it takes.
Well, 6 out of 10 on the most wanted list, top 10 most wanted list of the FBI in 1 year is pretty impressive. FBI Director Kash Patel, thank you. We really appreciate it. We wish you and your agents Godspeed in this investigation.
Listen, I think these searches usually go out. They don't go in. They start in, then they go out, and it looks to me like they're starting to narrow back in. I'm not an expert. I'm not a detective. I'm not a cop. I know a lot of officers. I listen to a lot of it. I have family members and friends, and I am pretty decent with uncovering certain things and kind of not predicting, but taking the facts of the case and narrowing it down to independent conclusions, which have been consistently right. This one's up in the air. I seriously doubt you find her alive. It just doesn't feel that way to me. This feels like a recovery almost. And the way that you do that is you find who did it, and then you squeeze them and you sit them down, and they'll tell you where the body is. That's what I feel. Tomorrow we will be on. It'll be Olivia and I Wednesday night. I want to say thank you guys for the donations and helping out. We had some very large donations tonight, and I want to say thank you to everybody who helped out. We'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday night. We'll have new topics. Remember, we got Chris Peranto and Jessica Lynch. We're getting booked for the show. Tonto will be here, I think, this week, one of the two. And we've got Jack and Mandy coming back. We've got Paul Carafort's coming back. We've got a senator here in I think it's in Virginia, who's running for Senate. Maybe not. Yeah, I think it's Virginia. Doesn't matter. We've got multiple people coming on the show. So I want to say thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Please do me a favor. Go like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't picked up a hat, a shirt, whatever, go do that. Go pick up some coffee if you want to. Go and peruse and shop at the Don't Unfriend Me Show store. It's been fun with you guys tonight. Thanks for talking. Thanks for chatting. We will see you guys tomorrow night. Good night.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.